Hey everybody, Simasick this year again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. And today, head out to my local Goodwill where I got myself some great soundtracks and also some great movies, so let's take a look at everything I got. The first soundtrack I picked up for only 97 cents was Bugs Bunny on Broadway. Now this here is something I wouldn't normally add to my collection, as this is a Broadway musical soundtrack and not an actual movie soundtrack. However, this does actually include some classic music from the classic Looney Tunes shorts. And for that reason, I definitely wanted to pick this up. Though unfortunately, I'd say about 75% of this is actually newly recorded music. That I can't recommend. It wasn't very good. It didn't sound traditional. It just was kind of bland and I really did not enjoy it. I would assume that music was actually recorded for the Broadway musical. However, the other 25% on here is actual classic music from the actual shorts, and that is great, so I definitely had to pick this one up and add it to the collection. The next CD soundtrack that I picked up for 97 cents was Mannheim Steamroller meets The Mouse. Now this here, once again, is another strange addition to my collection, not normally something I would pick up, but what this is a bunch of classic Disney songs from classic Disney movies covered by Mannheim Steamroller. Now, before listening to this, the only Mannheim Steamroller I had ever heard was a few Christmas songs throughout the years during the Christmas season. Really didn't know too much about them. And after listening to this, I'm not a huge fan. It's sort of a new wave kind of orchestra type sounds. Not really a big fan. But I did actually sort of enjoy them covering Disney songs because their style mixed in with Disney music really felt like something I'd be listening to at Epcot. When you go to Epcot, all you hear is great kind of orchestra, synthesized music playing, very much like what you hear on here. So if not for the fact that they were covering Disney songs, I'd probably have no interest in Mannheim Steamroller, but this soundtrack, not too bad. Then I grabbed the soundtrack to Charlie's Angels. It's okay, has some decent songs on it, not the best soundtrack, but for 97 cents, I had to get it because I got the movie. And the last soundtrack I picked up, once again for 97 cents, was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Perfect for this time of year. This is actually still brand new, factory sealed, that's great, and I love this soundtrack, and I love this classic Rankin Bass special. Great music, great story, this is definitely something I had to pick up. Burl Ives is fantastic, singing all these great classic songs, so for 97 cents, definitely had to grab this one. Now on to the movies, and for only $1.97 I picked up Fist of Vengeance Martial Arts Collection. This was actually brand new, still factory sealed, just opened this one up about 5 minutes ago. And this comes with some movies that I've always wanted to see. This looks to have a ton of Bruce Lee exploitation films, a bunch of which I have yet to see. Things like Bruce Lee Fights Back from the Grave, Dragon Lee vs. the Five Brothers, Fists of Bruce Lee, The Image of Bruce Lee, just tons of great classic, probably cheesy, probably really bad Bruce Lee exploitation films that I'm definitely looking forward to checking out. Then the next title I picked up, once again for $1.97, was For the Moment. Now this here is a complete blind buy, I know nothing about it, but it does get pretty decent reviews online. The synopsis sounded very interesting, and I do love Russell Crowe, so for $1.97, I had to grab it. Next I grabbed The Eagle Has Landed, once again for $1.97, and this is also brand new, still factory sealed. This is a movie I come across a lot at places like flea markets, yard sales, pawn shops, and I always pass it up. Not that I don't think it looks good, but for whatever reason, I just never grab it. So today, coming across it factory sealed for $1.97, I had to pick it up, and I can't wait to check it out. And the last time I picked up, of course, once again for only $1.97, was G.I. Joe Ninja Battles. Now this I am very excited to come across because this was only ever released with actual G.I. Joe action figures. You cannot buy this by itself. So to come across this in perfect condition at my local Goodwill for only $1.97 was an amazing deal. So that's it for what I bought today, so now it's what I watched. And today I checked out The Ref. Finally. After watching this, I have no idea why I waited so many years to actually check this one out. This was a movie that I would come across all the time and I'd always just pass it up. It wasn't until I guess a few months ago that I did finally pick this one up, and I knew I'd be watching it this holiday season, as this is one of those non-Christmas Christmas movies. It does take place during Christmas. Obviously there's a lot of Christmas themes to it, but it's not necessarily a Christmas movie. but I definitely wanted to check this one out, and I am so glad I did. This movie is extremely funny. Dennis Leary, for once, doesn't do one of his stupid rants that I hate in movies. That was always one of the things that bothered me about Dennis Leary. I really don't like his stand-up. I'm not a fan of his stand-up. He just does that whole rant thing. For me, it doesn't work. I like when people like Lewis Black, when they do the little rants, it works for me. I think Lewis Black's and other comedians like that, their presentation, it works. It's very funny. For some reason, Dennis Leary, his presentation on his rants never does it for me. I don't find it funny. I kind of find it annoying. And unfortunately, in about 90% of the movies I've ever seen him in, he always does his little rants, and it just bugs me. I might be enjoying him during a movie, and as soon as he does that little rant, I can't stand him throughout the rest of the film. In this movie, no rants. He is actually funny in this. Brilliant. He just has these great one-lines. I absolutely loved him. Kevin Spacey, he was great as well. He had a bunch of great lines too. I just loved this movie. I enjoy that, you know, the whole movie's about two robbers who are robbing some houses. They end up getting caught, and the one robber, who's played by Dennis Leary, he actually ends up kidnapping this couple who are getting in the middle of kind of possibly separating and getting a divorce. The woman's cheated on the husband, and they're arguing the whole time. And even though he's holding them hostage and you know, to gunpoint and pushing them over in chairs and has them all tied up, they're still continuously bickering with each other. Eventually, the family comes over for Christmas, and they kind of have to play it cool. Dennis Leary ends up pretending like he's their psychologist, and things just go crazy, and it is, again, extremely funny. The plot is pretty decent as well, but it's mostly just the dialogue. This is a very dialogue-driven movie that is just hilarious, and I would highly recommend picking this one up and checking it out this holiday season. So that's it for what I bought when I watched today. Definitely got some great titles and some great deals today from my local Goodwill, and also watching The Ref, I absolutely loved it. Extremely funny. Again, I can't believe I've waited all these years to finally watch it, because I'm very glad I checked it out. It's going to be a holiday classic within my household from now on, because it was extremely funny. I absolutely loved it. And again, I would highly recommend it. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to see what I bought when I watch tomorrow. See ya. Burl Lives is just a Christmas people with loud cars need to die.